Would you like to extend the life of your tires and save a few bucks while you're at it? Stick around and I'll let you know how. Hey everybody, Tim here, Overlanding for Fun. In today's video, we're going to talk about probably one of the most overlooked maintenance items on a vehicle. Well, outside of changing the cabin filter and possibly lubricating the door hinges. And that's actually tire maintenance. Now, most larger vehicles actually come with a full-size spare, and people tend to forget to actually include that into their tire rotation. So what we're going to talk about is actually doing a 5-tire rotation. And today we're going to use my 21 Ford Bronco. Now, you can do this on any full-size vehicle, but I would recommend that you check your owner's manual to see what the procedure is. So if you look in the owner's manual of your vehicle, you'll most likely find some diagram like this that will show a tire rotation. Now, generally, on newer vehicles, because of the TPMs sensors, they will recommend that you only do a 4-tire rotation without taking the vehicle to the service center or to the dealership. Now, part of the reason is that those TPMs sensors have to be registered with a computer. But have no fear, I have a simple way to work around that. Stick around later in the video and I'll show you how to do it. So if you look at the rotation chart here, essentially what they're showing for the Bronco, and like I said, please refer to your owner's manual for specifics to your vehicle, but they show that the right rear tire would go up to the right front tire. The right front tire would come back to the left rear tire. The left rear tire would go back up to the left front, and that would be your 4-tire rotation. So what we're going to do a little bit differently is we're going to take the spare off. We're going to replace the right rear tire with the spare, run the tires through the rotation, and then when we take the left front tire off, instead of putting it on the rear like the diagram shows, we'll put it back on the spare tire mount. And that's it. So let's go ahead and get started. Now that we've got the lug nuts off, we're going to go ahead and hand those to our special helper here today. And he is going to hang on to those for us.
Yeah, I am.
All righty. Now that we have the spare tire off, one of the first things we need to do is make sure we chalk the tires. Now ideally you'd want to do this on a flat surface, but unfortunately I have a slight downgrade in my driveway, so it makes it especially important to use chalks. So before we take the tire off, we want to go ahead and loosen up the lug nuts to ensure that it's easy to take off when the tire's up in the air. All right, so let's go ahead and get the right rear tire jacked up. Now, jack placement is very important, and it's also very specific to the vehicle you drive. So once again, please make sure you reference your owner's manual to find out where those proper locations are. One of the most important things to remember is not to jack the vehicle up very high. Because the tires are fully inflated, you only need to lift them off just enough to take the tire off and replace it. It's also important to make sure you try to keep as many points of contact on the ground for your safety. So now that the tire is up in the air, you want to go ahead and remove the lug nuts. And once again, you can employ that very special helper to hold on to those.
And then we'll put them on top of the person. Be down.
Nope, just hang on to them. Okay. Now that you have the tire off, it doesn't hurt to do a quick visual inspection of your brakes. Make sure that everything looks good. You don't have any leaks or frayed wiring or anything here in the back. So the pattern that Ford recommends is to go ahead and tighten. This would be number 1. Position number 2 would be down here, straight across from it. Then we would go back up to the lug nut left of number 1. And that would be number 3. Then straight across would be number 4. And then we're going to go back to the lug nut left of number 3. That would be number 5. And then the next lug nut would be straight across from it, would be number 6. So now that the tire's back on the ground, one of the things you'll need to do is go ahead and put a final torque on these. Now Ford recommends in their manual that you torque these to roughly 135 Newton meters or 100 pound-feet of torque. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, now that we've got them all torqued down, we're done with this tire. Now the only other recommendation Ford had in their manual is that after about 65 kilometers or roughly 100 miles, that you'll want to go ahead and try torquing them down again. All right, now that the fun part's over, let's get down to business. So we've got all 4 tires replaced. We've got what was the left front tire back up on the spare slot. And the next step that we have to do is program the vehicle so it knows which TPMs sensors are on the wheels that are actually being used by the vehicle. What I had mentioned earlier about where Ford had recommended that you either take it to a service center or to the dealership to do this, there are scanners that you can buy on Amazon. I just happened to buy this one. It's the Super EL50448, and I'll go ahead and put a link to that in the description below. But once again, I'm not sponsored by this company or anything, but I have used the tool and it does work specifically for Fords. Now this tool is for Ford and GMC or GM. I can't speak to the GM side, but it does work with the Ford Bronco. So we need to put the computer into learning mode. So let's go ahead and jump in the vehicle and I'll show you how to do that. To put the vehicle into learning mode, you're going to need to go ahead and press the brake pedal one time. You're going to hit the engine start stop button once, turn it off, turn it on, turn it off, turn it on, and then you're going to press the brake pedal one more time. You're going to go ahead and turn it off, turn it on, turn it off, turn it on, turn it off, and turn it on one more time. You will hear the horn honk, and it should now tell you in the thing, train left front tire. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and step out of the vehicle. We're going to start with the left front tire. It will honk. The right front tire, it'll honk again. The right rear tire, it'll honk. And then the left rear tire, and it'll honk. Now once you've done all 4 of those, then the current TPMs sensors will be programmed into the computer. So let's go ahead and get started. So what we'll need to do is come down to find the valve stem, and we're going to put the unit at about a 45-degree angle underneath the valve stem. We're going to press the button, and then we're going to rock it slowly by the tire, and you'll hear it beep. So let's go over to the other tire. Same procedure. We're going to find the valve stem. We're going to come out. We're going to press the button so the light's flashing. Same thing. Find the valve stem. Press the button. All right, now that all 4 tires are registered, that's it. That's all you have to do. So at this point, you want to go ahead and drive your vehicle normal. Don't forget that after 65 kilometers or roughly 100 miles, you want to get back out and make sure you retighten your lug nuts just to make sure they're secure. So if you found this video informative and you liked it, please hit the like button. And as always, hopefully we'll catch you on the trail. Tim out.